Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Recent Things. We just got over our Halloween series and I want to thank you all for watching the complete series, commenting, liking, sharing all the videos. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun, and from the comments I know you all had fun as well. One of the comments that I got, now I have recently after Halloween released a little Christmas bow video, how to make 3 bows really quickly, really easy for presents, Christmas trees, your railing, your mantle, whatever the case may be that you need bows. But I created that video and I got a lot of questions asking where all my Thanksgiving wreaths are. I'm in Canada, so my wreaths, the Thanksgiving wreaths, actually came out maybe about 2, 3 weeks ago. I did a couple. I'll link those right down below as well. But it got me thinking, why don't I just do a really quick, nice and simple wreath for my American friends that celebrate Thanksgiving as well in the next coming weeks? Today, here is my Thanksgiving wreath, especially for you, my American viewers. Let's get started and I'll show you what I made. I'm going to try something new today and use 2 of the 14-inch wire wreath frames. And I have this pack of felt. There's 4 colors, and I'm going to use cable ties or zip ties along with 2.5-inch wired ribbon. This is just a yellow color, and that burlap crafting fabric. And these old calendars that I had, there's a couple of designs here for Thanksgiving. So there's the 2 designs. I'm going to decide a little bit later on which one I'm going to use. I don't know which one yet, but we'll decide. And this is just the 2022 calendars, along with this little wooden plaque. This one I got at the Dollarama. If you don't have a Dollarama, there are several plaques in the crafting square section of the Dollar Tree you can use. Modpodge and a paintbrush. If you don't have Modpodge, just mix some school glue along with some water and that'll give you the same results. And finally, I'm using my regular crafting utensils. Right now, I'm just trying to decide which one of those thankful and blessed pictures I'm going to use. I decided I'm going to use that thankful and blessed one. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place a layer of Mod Podge right onto that wooden plaque. I'm going to get a nice even coat on there. Once I do that, I'm just going to lay my picture right on top. And I'm also going to use my ruler just to get out those bubbles from the piece of paper. Then I'm going to cut out a little bit of these pumpkin here. There's a white one and a gray one. And I'm also going to use those on my little plaque as well. So once I finish cutting those all out, I just add Mod Podge to the back, attach them where I want to place them. And then once they're both attached right on there, I'm going to add another layer of Mod Podge just to seal everything off. And once I have that layer all down, I'm going to let this dry for a full maybe 3 to 4 hours. And then once it's all dry, we'll come back to it as well. In the meantime, I'm going to get those 2 wire wreath frames together. I am using both flat ends, putting them together. This I wanted to try. I've never done it. I've kind of thought about it before. I just wanted something a little bit thicker for the wreath frame itself. So all I'm doing is I'm adding cable ties at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions, and I'm just making sure that both the wreath frames are inside that zip tie, and then I'm closing them really nice and tight like you see here. This is going to give me a thicker wreath base, more of a circular one as well. You'll see a little bit later on, a little bit how much thicker it really is. And then of course I'm just going to cut off the excess, and our wire frame is all ready to decorate. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take one of those burlap fabric rolls. I'm going to add some glue to the end of it, fold it over itself, and then I'm just going to wrap till my heart's content all the way around that wire frame. Now this will take 2 full rolls. You can see here how much one roll covers. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the end of that, press it in using my tool, cutting off the excess, adding a little more hot glue on top of that. And then my new roll, I'm going to press into the glue. And then, of course, I'm going to wrap, wrap, wrap once more until I've got it completely wrapped. And then I'm going to glue it in place once again and cut off that excess. And our wreath base is all ready to go. I'm going to cut out little leaves with this felt. So my fabric felt is about 12 inches by 8 inches roughly. And I'm doing 2-inch increments here. You can see I'm just kind of planning out my grid of how I'm going to do my cuts. And then one more right at just over the 4-inch mark. Each of my little rectangles is approximately 2 inches by 4 inches. I'm just cutting them up right now, getting them all ready to create our little leaves. So you can see here it's about 2 inches to about 4 inches roughly. And to create those leaves, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my squares and my scissors, and I'm going to cut a little arc on the right hand side to a point, and then I'm going to come back and cut another arc, leaving a flat edge on one of the sides and a pointed edge on the other side. So you can kind of see here I have a flat edge, and then I also have a pointed edge along with 2 curved edges. And I'm going to continue cutting like that. I'm going to use all 4 different colors. And then once I get all 4 different colors cut, to make our leaves, all I'm going to do is add a little bead of glue right down the center, about 1 inch from the edge, maybe less. And then I'm just going to fold in those edges, creating our little stem for our wreath. So our pointed edge sticks out and we're folding in that edge with the flat edge. Again, I'm just adding a little bead of hot glue right down the center, folding that in. I'm going to hold it in place for a little bit such that my pointed edge is still open and it's not closed. And I'm going to do this again for all 4 of my colors, creating a whole bunch of leaves, felt leaves I should say, to attach our wreath. Now that my sign is all dry, I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm just going to cut off all that excess there. And then I'm just going to take a little sandpaper block. This I just got at my local dollar store as well. I'm going to run that all along the edges, creating a nice smooth edge. And I also wanted a worn out look, so I'm just softly scraping the top of it, just kind of getting it sanded down just a little bit, making a little aged look. Once that's all done, I'm going to flip it over, add some hot glue down along with some pipe cleaners, and then this will be how we attach our sign to that wreath frame. We're going to put it to the side, let it dry, and then of course now it's all dry. I have everything ready to go, and I'm just going to kind of decide where I want everything to go. I'm going to put my sign on the left-hand side with the bow at the bottom. Now that I've decided that, we'll flip it over. And then I'm going to use those pipe cleaners, twisting them around the wreath frame, cutting off the excess, and that's how I'm going to attach this sign to our wreath. Now you don't have to do this, but what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of hot glue right on that edge mark where our pipe cleaners have been cut, just to kind of hold it in place. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing when I attach my bow as well, cutting off that excess, flattening the ends a little bit, and then adding a little bit of hot glue. Then I'm just going to wait a little bit for that to dry. And then of course, now it comes time for me to fluff up that bow because I've squished it so much in the whole process of attaching it. And now it's time to attach those felt leaves. I'm going to start off right where the sign is and kind of hide the stem a little bit. And I'm just going to keep adding them and adding them. Now, I don't want to fill up the whole wreath. So I just do a little bit at the top and then I come to the bottom and just add a little bit more as well. I keep picking up the wreath so I get a different angle and different approach to the wreath and to see how it looks and where I need to fill it in. Once I finish adding in the little felt flowers and I feel it's complete, then of course our wreath is all done and I'm going to go back to fluffing up my bow. Why? Because that's what we do here at Dave's Wreaths and Things. Here is the final result of our thankful and blessed Thanksgiving wreath. I just love how this turned out. I love the neutral colors of it. We have that burlap wrapped wire wreath frame with those 4 different colors of our felt wreaths, our thankful and blessed sign that we made ourselves, along with this beautiful yellow mustard color bow and some more of those beautiful little felt wreaths. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. I just wanted to wish you and everyone you know, all of your loved ones, a very happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving this year and always. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.